to plan your day. The mountains are calling you out to play. Come on, we'll make you feel right at home. Good day, Vail. Good day, Vail. Let's see what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring or fall, you're home in the Rockies as it all. So gear up, get ready to plan your day. The ideas are brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good day, Vail. Good day, Vail.
Hey, this is Cece Zach, and this is Good Day Vail, and I'm so excited to bring this episode to you. We are actually at Cripple Creek Backcountry in Avon to learn about a sport that it has eluded me for so many different reasons, but I'm really excited to learn about it so I can come back soon and tell you all about skinning, the who, what, why, where, and when, of actually a sport that has been in existence since 1555. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back with the Good Day Vail episode on skinning.
Good day, Vail. Good day, Vail.
Hi, I'm Cece Zach, and welcome back to Good Day Vail. And today, I'm so thrilled to talk to you about skinning, a sport that I am dying to try, and why I'm so eager to have two experts from the Valley here to share with us their expertise. So Hayes, thank you so much for hosting us here at Cripple Creek Backcountry, and Adam Bartlett, thank you so much for joining us as well. And so before we get into the nuts and bolts of skinning, what I'd really like to know is how long have the two of you been in Vail, and why have you stayed here for as long as you have?
Yeah, I've been here for 3 years. Love being here for our wilderness areas and the core groups of people who are into recreating in those places.
And you, as I recall, you also came here because of a job.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, I got a job here, and now I've worked here for 3 years, and yeah, good deal.
I got to ask, do you have a memorable moment of helping a client like me find joy in doing something in the backcountry in those 3 years?
Yeah, it's always cool when people come back and tell us how much fun they had, and and then groups of people, like, they'll get gear because their friends did, and snowballing, it's a really cool thing.
Yeah, I look forward to talking about the gear, because I think that's the one thing that I've really been restricted in trying skinning, because I don't have it. I'm an avid downhill skier, and I do a teeny bit of cross country, but look forward to getting into the gear shortly. So Adam, your story is a little bit different. We know you've been in real estate here in the Valley for quite some time, but tell us why you came here and why you stay here.
Oh yeah, I moved here over 25 years ago, and I came, to spend the winter, but ended up staying obviously longer. And it's the outdoors and being out to work-life balance, and all that's really kept me here.
And is there any one memorable moment that you have in this valley that kind of turned your mind and shape about how you look at the valley? Because I know you kind of think of it as a little bit of a Camelot. So what made you stay when you first came?
I think it was like I enjoyed the winter, but then like somebody talked me into staying the summer, and it was the balance of the seasons that I've learned to enjoy everyone, even the spring as it melts out, but with the backcountry skiing, that makes it a lot more enjoyable.
Well, we're blessed to have the two of you in the Valley, and so let's get into the meat of this. Hayes, how did you get into backcountry?
I had a friend in college who needed a partner, and I got the gear and got into it and started skiing bigger spring lines, and then now I do it, from October through June sometimes.
And tell me, when you say your friend needed a partner, okay, remember, I have never gone skinning before. I haven't gone in the backcountry. Mm-hmm. I really want to. Why is it so important to have a partner?
Yes, for safety, just taking care of each other out there, and then if something were to happen avalanche-wise, you'd have a partner for rescue, and it's just generally safer to travel in the mountains with a friend.
And for our viewers, similar to me who has never skinned, I know we don't need to be worried about going to where the avalanches are, and we'll get into that in a minute, but I think it's really important, especially with what we've been hearing recently, that having a partner is really key to safety in all of this. Now, Adam, how did you get involved? in this? Because you have a little bit longer background. When we were talking and preparing, you had said there's a progression of how you ended up getting into backcountry.
Yeah, when I moved here, I was into snowboarding at the time. I skied as a kid and then got into snowboarding, but then, I was in the summer, hiking in the Gore Range and doing all that stuff. So I wanted to start enjoying it in the winter, and then, ended up taking a break, got into ice climbing, and then after that, I bought a touring setup and then started, skiing on the mountain with it, and then slowly entering into backcountry as friends showed me around.
So you mentioned the term touring. Can the two of you help us understand how to really to define the words backcountry, skinning, touring, and are there any other terms that are thrown out in this vein right now, today's world?
Yeah, backcountry skiing would be anytime you're skiing out of a controlled ski area. And then skinning would just be anytime you're going uphill on skis. Some people think of it more in the context of going uphill at the resort. And then touring would be similar, going uphill on skis, going around in the mountains on skis.
So is there a difference between skinning and touring?
I guess not. Maybe people probably use the words in different contexts, but.
Adam, do you have anything to add about the terminology? And
Yeah, I think to me touring is more kind of backcountry, but it's not like you're going for one line. You might be, making a day out of it, go up, ski something, go down, go back up again, and then make it back.
And make it back.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So one of the big differences for me is obviously the equipment because, and actually before we get into it, Adam, you had talked about the evolution of the equipment as well. Maybe you can talk about how it's just changed before we get into the specifics of it through the time that you've been out in backcountry.
The biggest thing is weight. It's, weighs half of what it used to when I first started. The skins weighed twice as much. The boot technology was there, but you can have a boot that's closer to a on-mountain boot, like a resort boot, but it weighs half the weight, or somewhere similar to that. And then bindings, they just become more efficient and lighter, and you can get it's easier to get further into the mountains, in a quicker pace.
Okay. So you go further faster.
Yep.
Okay. So let's kind of talk about all this equipment because, Hayes, you're the expert, and I will say that this is a little bit different than what I use going downhill. So help us understand all that we need to go out there.
Yeah, so the skis are really similar to what you're used to alpine skiing. They might just be a bit lighter. And then for the uphill, you'll put the skins on the bottom of your skis. They'll stick to your skis, and they grip one way and they glide the other way. And then you'll have a touring binding. These pin-style bindings work really well. So for the uphill...
When you say pin style, is that because there's pins there? Okay.
Yeah, so you're locked into the binding by these 4 points, which is crazy to think of, but they do work really well. So when you're going uphill, you'll just be attached in the front of the binding, and your heel will be free, so you can walk up the hill. And a lot of bindings have risers to make it easier when it gets steeper.
Oh, fascinating! That's very cool. Yeah.
And then when you come down, you're locked in really similarly to an alpine binding. Your heel is attached, and you're just making alpine turns like you're used to.
Okay. Awesome. Now you mentioned the skis. We do have an array of skis behind us. You mentioned that they are lighter than alpine skis. Is there anything? Well, and obviously the bindings seem much lighter too.
Yeah.
Those pin bindings.
Yeah.
Are there any other differences between the backcountry skis, skinning skis, and alpine skis?
Yeah, I mean, some people pick really narrow skis if they want to go up the hill really fast. Some people pick wide skis if they're looking for soft snow. Kind of the same deal as your alpine skis, just lighter.
Okay. And speaking of light, oh my God, this is like feather light compared to my boot. How long does it take to put a skin, if you're a beginner, how long does it take to put a skin on a ski?
Oh, probably just like a minute.
A minute?
Mm-hmm.
And then you skin up the mountain, and obviously you take the skins off. What do you do with the skins? Because I would imagine they're wet.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you do with the skins?
Yeah, you can put them in your backpack, or if you're taking multiple laps, sometimes you put them in your jacket to keep them warm so they don't ice up. That way they perform the next time around.
Adam, what are your thoughts on this new equipment? I mean, you say it's lighter. Have you found that you're going in further now too?
Oh yeah, I can shave like hours off of
Hours?
what it used to take.
Wow.
I mean, because I had a heavier boot that, I mean, this was in existence when I started, but I kind of came from the alpine end and wanted a stiffer boot. So now you can get a stiffer boot that weighs, so much less than the resort skiing boot.
Awesome.
And gives you, similar performance. It's not exact, but it's very close now.
So viewers, please stay tuned. We're going to take a short break. And Adam and Hayes, this has been fantastic. I've learned so much in just a very short period of time. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with the skinning episode and how you can enjoy skinning here in the Vail Valley and living your best life.
Good day, Vail. Good day, Vail.
Hi there, and welcome back to Good Day Vail. This is a skinning episode. I'm here with Hayes and with Adam, and we are at Cripple Creek Backcountry in Avon. So blessed to be hosted by you, Hayes, so thank you very much. Now let's jump into the specifics. Let's pretend I just walked into the store. Our viewers know that I've never done this before. I really want to do it, and it's been 4 years, and I just don't know what's holding me back. So Hayes, what are you going to do with me?
Yeah, I mean, we could set you up on some rental gear, and you could give it a try for a day and go uphill at one of the local ski areas before or after the lifts are running, or head over to Meadow Mountain where it's safe to travel and find some fun snow to ski in.
Do you mind me asking what the price points of rentals are? Because again, I only have Alpine as my background. So what am I looking to spend for that period of time?
Yeah, here it's $120 for the day. That gets you boots, binding, skis, skins, and poles.
And what if I came back and I wanted to buy something? Does that go towards the purchase?
Yeah, we can
Similar-
apply
yeah,
some of it to the full setup.
Yeah, that makes it. Okay, so now I've got the equipment, but I am a beginner, and so what do I do? Who do I go with? Do I do it on my own and figure it out? Adam, what are your thoughts? Because you did offer to take me up.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you can do it either way. I think if you're going at the resort before or after, outside of operation hours, you could totally do it by yourself. It might be nice for the first time to go with a friend that can just give you a couple tips here or there, so it makes it a little bit of a smoother experience for you.
Okay, so we mentioned, Hayes, you mentioned Meadow Mountain and Arrowhead. How long is it going to take me the first time going up? I'm not a runner. I have okay breathing, and I'm in decent fitness, but how long is it going to take me to get up there?
Yeah, I mean, you can turn around whenever you want. That's kind of
that's key,
beauty of it. So if you have an hour, you can just, go up for 50 minutes, turn around, and be back at the base. But yeah, it all just depends on your pace, and turn around whenever feels comfortable too.
That's key, because I always feel like I have to finish it and go up to the top. So what run would you suggest at Arrowhead for me?
Oh, I think it's Little Brave is the mellow one to the looker's left.
The looker's left, okay. Now, Adam, I know you love Vail, so where do you go, or where would you suggest me as a beginner at Vail?
I go up Simba, and you can go around the Blackface, but it's mostly a green or a blue the whole time, but I just do that and go up to Eagle's Nest, and that's the easiest way. But you don't have to go to Eagle's Nest. You can go to the bottom of Chair 26, the Pride Lift, if that's all you got time for, whatever, kind of works for you and, how you're feeling or time and that.
Now, you're talking about feeling and time. One of the things that the two of you really instilled with me is that skinning can give you a fabulous aerobic exercise. So how do you find, Adam, you fit it into your schedule, and when do you typically skin versus, any other big backcountry adventure?
I always try to do it in the morning, or if it's not, just going up the resort after hours in the afternoon. but it's work first and then that. But I'll do that. But if it's anything backcountry, I always try to go in the morning before it warms up.
Before it warms up. Okay, so that gets us into a whole nother conversation.
For another time.
Which is why I'm thinking, Hayes, that you recommended that being at the resort for the first time to really learn it is important because of the snow conditions.
Yeah, it's managed. You don't have to worry about complex terrain, avalanches, anything like that. You can just focus on getting comfortable with the movement, the gear, and your fitness.
Okay. Now, speaking of the gear, now Adam, you pulled out a few things here from the store just to kind of show us if, you went up Simba this morning. So, what do you carry when you're in the resort areas?
In the resort areas, you do not need these 3 things because it's managed. Groomers are on it, but you need a backpack.
So you need a backpack.
Extra clothes because you're going to get damp from your sweat.
Okay.
So, I'll go up to Eagle's Nest and go inside and change really quickly so that I'm warm.
Oh.
But I always bring an extra, because I sweat a lot, an extra shirt and then another jacket and then the shell jacket on top of it. So.
Okay.
And then a hat that I'm not using on the way up. So, and then another pair of gloves because my gloves, everything for me will get kind of damp.
So
then I just change it out, put the damp stuff in there, and then put the dry stuff on quickly and ski down.
Okay, you did pull out some things, and I think this is more around the backcountry side of things, but show us, because I don't think I've seen 1 or 2 of these tools before. Maybe if you can lift them up for the camera, too.
Yeah, this is a beacon. This is the most important piece you'll have. If, something ever did go wrong, it helps you find your partner or the partner to find you, hopefully, without any issues. Then a shovel, if that were to happen. Or if you just got stuck outside at night, it allows you to build a snow cave or something like that. And then
it makes me really excited to run and go out there at that time of day.
But like in the beginning, you're not going to go far. But if something ever did happen, it can definitely help you. And then it all goes hand in hand. But it's a pro pole. It's like a tent pole that's going to be 5-10 feet long. They're in different sizes, but that if you're ever doing a recovery, it allows you to poke in the snow.
Okay.
For your partner. Because if you're picking up their signal from this, it goes from you're in search mode, you move it to send, and then you use the probe to find them, then you'll start digging if something did happen.
I find this fascinating only because the last couple of years since I moved to the Valley, there's been a big emphasis on educating people about the snow and avalanches. Just briefly, even though, again, for our viewers like me that are beginning, I'm not going to be going to avalanche training, but the 2 of you did talk about there's quite a few resources in town to help us learn about the snow. What are those? I believe you have some classes here at Cripple Creek. Is that correct?
Yeah, we have some avalanche awareness classes. Friends of Berthoud Pass put something on. CIC has had some events recently, so that's a good way to get just prepped. And then past that, there are full level 1 courses to understand avalanche terrain that you can book through services like Paragon Guides or Apex Guides or Colorado Mountain College nearby.
Yeah, matter of fact, I just read in the paper over the weekend that Apex Mountain School has really blown out their safety training. And the 2 of you educated me on avalanche training being the acronym ARI with different levels to it. So I was fascinated to read about that. Now, Adam, you've been doing this for a while. Tell me, how much training have you done to go out in the backcountry?
A lot of it's to experience, just from my young days, getting, whether it was ice climbing or just traveling in the Gore Range that's local here to Vail, and or Sawatch and Beaver Creek. But a lot of that, I read a lot of books and then took some classes, mixed throughout that. And then every year I try to do a refresher, whether it's Ski Patrol that puts one on or, CIC.
And Ski Patrol being at either of the resorts, they'll do.
Yeah, they and in the past they've done a lot, together with CIC. It's kind of a group effort, and just it's a good refresher, even for somebody that like me that has a lot of experience. It's good to hear it again.
I think anyone that does any snow sports at all, I personally, and I'm no expert in this, but I'm going to sign myself up to learn. Now, if I wanted to get involved with a community and start, and knowing that I'm a beginner, Hayes, you had mentioned that there are a few community groups around here. Tell us about those.
Yeah, I know there's some Facebook page groups where people get together to go skinning together. There's also organizations like the Gore Range Gravity Alliance that put on group skins and avalanche awareness. And then here at the shop, we have a Wednesday night group skin. So lots of different opportunities to meet up with people and get out and go uphill.
Yeah, and when you become as advanced and tenured at backcountry as Adam, Adam, you had mentioned you have a group of 10 or 20 guys and gals that you get together with routinely, right?
Yeah, it's a mix, but we get out, like, I just know enough people that I can almost start, and I'm going to find somebody I know.
Out there, wherever you are. That's pretty amazing.
Not not if it's real deep backcountry, but definitely, if it's off resort backcountry or stuff like that, I'll find somebody I know, and I can hook up with them or vice versa. And everybody's very friendly, for the most part. So even if you're struggling going up on Simba or somewhere at Meadow Mountain, there's somebody always willing to help. So.
Well, that's encouraging to me.
Yeah, you don't need to be intimidated.
Yeah, very encouraging to me. And again, you both are such inspirations and such great educators. I want to thank you again for being on the show. Adam Hayes, I'm Cece Zach. This is Good Day Vail. Thank you so much for participating in the skinning episode. And I hope to see you out there a year from now, because Adam's my inspiration. I want to start meeting people out there and run into them and become a community as well. Take care, everyone. Cheers.
On your way, the fun is waiting outside your door. Good day.